That's the answer. 1 over x squared. Okay, you guys, today we're going to work on solving what's called inequalities. Let's talk about inequalities. Even though we're freezing. Now, you see this symbol here that says greater than x plus 7 greater than 12? This is called an inequality. Remember, we have greater than. What other symbol do we have when we talk about inequalities? Greater than, and what else? Less than and equal to. And we also have symbols that are greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. There's 5 different symbols. So we're going to talk about how you graph these and how you solve these problems. Very similar to how you would solve just simple equations with a couple of rules added, okay? So, this says x plus 7 has to be greater than 12. Who remembers how to solve for this? How would I solve for this? X plus 7 greater than 12 is what we have here. How do I isolate? Yeah, I'm going to subtract. To isolate the variable, which is my goal, I'm isolating the x. That means that it's by itself on one side of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 7, because 7 really needs to be combined with 12, but it's on the other side of the equation. So what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Now, what does that leave me with? 7 minus 7 is 0. So I have x by itself. Isn't that what I want? Greater than, what's 12 minus 7? 5. So when I graph this, I go to the 5. Now, the reason why I don't put a dot here where the 5 is because what this answer is saying that x has to be greater than 5. It's not including 5. If it had said greater than or equal to, I would just make a solid dot. But it doesn't say equal to. So it has to be greater than 5. So I put a hollow dot, a hollow circle, and then I shade everything to the right. So that's how we would graph it. Hollow circle, everything to the right, because it doesn't say that it's equal. Now, remember, when you're doing these problems, the objective is to solve the one-step inequality and to use the properties of inequality, and we're going to go over what those are. What are the properties of inequality? Guess what? They're the same as for any regular equation, which makes life really easy. And there's 2 exceptions, and we'll talk about those exceptions a little bit later. So, in the addition property for inequalities, if I have x minus 15 is less than 73, what should I do to solve this? I add 15 to both sides so I can isolate x. Do that and tell me what you get. The opposite of subtracting is to add, so I have to add 15 to both sides to find out what x is. So tell me what that would be. 88. So when you do this, you're going to get x is less than 88. Now, that graph is going to look like this. Now, is 88 above 88? Is it going to be hollow or is it going to be solid? It says less than. So hollow, right? I'm not going to make it solid because it doesn't say equal to 88. And then it says that x has to be less than. So I'm going to put the arrow like this. To the left with a hollow 0 over 88 and an arrow that shows it goes infinitely. That's it. That's it. It's easy to graph. Any questions on how we solve this equation? Nope? Okay. Let's go to another one then. I'm sorry?
Oh, you go left.
Because, isn't that less than 88? That's why I'm going left. You have to graph it the way it says it. Any other questions on this one? Okay, let's do another one. Subtraction property. These are the same properties that we use for just solving regular equations. Now, why am I going to subtract 15 from both sides? Because when I look over here where the variable is, the operation is addition. The opposite of adding is subtracting. So I have to subtract this 15 to get it over here with the 25. So I subtract 15 from both sides. What is y going to be less than? 10. So when I graph that one, put my number line here. I'm going to have the number 10. Is 10 going to be hollow or is it going to be solid? Hollow, because it's not. There's no equal to. And is it left to the left or to the right? Will y be to the left or to the right? Left. You got to go to the left.
That's negative, right?
What do you mean that's negative? The left, Dodd, the left is less than 10. That's what the symbol says. Y less than 10 when you read the symbol. Okay? So you can't have 10 or anything higher than 10. So it doesn't have to be negative. It could be 9. It could be 8. It could be 7. It could be 2.3. It doesn't have to be negative, but it includes negative numbers. Okay? You have to know what your symbols mean. Okay, let's go to the next property. All right, now look, if I have x divided by 5, what's the opposite of dividing? So I need to multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of the 5. So when I multiply by 5,